I never thought I had an addiction. No substances, no pills, nothing dramatic. But one night, I looked at the clock and realized I'd been watching videos for 3 hours straight. I couldn't even remember half of what I saw, and that's when it hit me. I wasn't escaping reality. I was drowning in it. I told myself I was just unwinding, just relaxing after a long day. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized I wasn't resting. I was numbing. Anytime life got stressful, I'd scroll. Anytime I felt anxious, I'd binge. Anytime I was lonely, I'd click. It didn't feel destructive. It felt normal. Everyone does it, right? But then I asked myself, what am I really running from? Why is silence so uncomfortable now? Why do I panic when there's nothing playing in the background? The truth is, I filled every quiet space so I wouldn't have to deal with what was in it. And I'm not alone, am I? We've normalized it. A few hours on YouTube, a few more on Netflix, background noise while we scroll through everyone else's highlight reel. But when the noise finally stops, the silence feels unbearable. Gluttony doesn't always look like food. Sometimes it looks like a screen full of empty distractions. And when we stuff our souls with noise, we leave no room for God's voice to break through. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 12 says, I will not be mastered by anything. But if I'm honest, comfort was mastering me. Not just once in a while, but daily. It didn't look sinful on the surface. It looked normal, average, safe. But the enemy doesn't always attack you with disaster. Sometimes he just keeps you distracted, numb, entertained. I'm not saying Netflix is evil, or that you should delete every app. But I had to ask myself, am I feeding my faith or numbing my soul? And when I looked at the patterns, the answer was pretty clear. But here's the good news. God isn't asking for perfection. He's asking for space. Space to speak. Space to move. Space to remind you who you really are when the noise is gone. So I started small. One night a week without screens. One walk without headphones. One prayer I didn't rush. It wasn't easy. But in the quiet, I could finally hear again. This is the narrow voice. If you're tired of the noise, you don't have to escape. You just have to return.